right now. So, predictions, boys, just before we fly in. I personally went for Vitality.
Oh, yep. Ooh, okay.
Right in.
And for good reason. ZywOo with a tap. We are right in and right down. 2 for ZywOo. Collar in the B site, but not for long with a plant denied. Otto definitely could have gone for the stick there, but he tries to fight, and that's going to cost him the round. It's Blame gone in a 1-on-5. ZywOo hunting these players, and Nivera, who's in this map, by the way, over Masuta, that's kind of cool, is going to finish it off. So very quick vent dive. Not sure why they didn't plant. And yeah, ZywOo with 3.
I will say it. Oh yeah, look, we got the predictions. So we basically all went Vitality, apart from Rush, who is a Complexity fanboy.
Okay.
Also,
6%, dude. I don't respect that.
Leading the way in the predictions right now, but you know, I'll always be one right behind him because I'm always picking the same teams he's picking. That's my strategy.
Nice. So you'll never beat him. Congratulations,
no,
Harry.
But you know, I can only hope to walk in the shadow of a man as great as Yanko.
Sucking up.
Look, man. Don't you judge me, Hugo. Complexity, they're in with this 4-spy here and now, trying to bring the heat. That pistol round was sick. We kind of joined in a little bit late. ZywOo using the CZ like it's a full auto USP, just one-tapping people.
Yeah.
Absolutely despicable, man.
I'm actually really shocked, that, especially considering Cold Force, that they just didn't plant. Like, that's maybe some nerves for Oton. Like, he was backside, he had the bomb. Could have done it, but he takes a fight and it costs him. And now Complexity with that cost, only the Eagles, Tech 9's bit of armor. Smokes are outside, they're gonna move through. Blame gets down through Secret, the rest of them fighting close main. That's a lovely little grenade. ZywOo's spotting the smokes, but they go into Garage. Oh boy, this could get saucy. Nivera trying to figure out if they are lower. He's going to spot Blame, but he doesn't see the full entourage of T's. Now Complexity, they give up their trap card. They show their hand to ZywOo. Nice deed from JKS. ZywOo doesn't want to give them a 5v3. He backs out. Nivera, huge kill to keep lower under control for Vitality. And RBK turns back, but they're coming to fight him outside. Rush has a great position. ZywOo is picking up his teammates, though. And, oh, there it is. The no-scope to close. Just ZywOo things, man. 6 kills, 2 rounds.
I actually hate how good he is. It's so frustrating, isn't it? Like, on top of just being sick, it's more like just how good his decision-making is. Like, everything about what he does here is perfect. He's pivoting between the different points of engagement. Then he reads that, oh, I'm probably getting wrapped heaven, so he's ready with the no-scope. And it must feel really, really nice for guys like Shox and stuff to look down the line, see, you know, thank God we have ZywOo on our team, right? And he's not on, like, G2 or something fighting against us. My goodness. He's back in with the scout, and obviously only up against the eco here. Tag to Blame F, and now looking to finish the job. But that's the thing, I think it would always be very, very easy for someone like ZywOo, right? Like, especially when you compare him to the guy he's often compared to in Simple. I think it would be very, very easy for someone to have come in and kind of, you know that they're sick. And so as a result, they kind of, they try and flex that all the time. But the thing with ZywOo is his decision-making is very, very good in the sense that he's never like just throwing himself into these like pointless fights that is very, very tricky to win. Everything's so calculated. He plays such beautiful Counter-Strike. This round's nice and clean. In fact, it's an ace for Apex, mate. That's pretty sick, isn't it, on the ramp rotate? Only up against pistols, so we're not going to get too excited yet, Apex. Sorry, bud, but, you know, there's always time for a couple more of them.
More of that indeed. Vitality now got to deal with the guns of Cole. They're coming through well armed in their first rifle round. Full util as well. So he's still on the scout. Rare to see him with this weapon, but always enjoyed. Cole setting up yard smokes early as well. Out they go. Molotov as well to make them bloom quick. ZywOo with a nade. He loses his teammate in Apex. It's the double spray from Config and Blame. ZywOo looking for a scout pick. Look how quick Config is. Down towards the B-bomb site. It's a ramp push through the smoke for Shox. That's going to cost him. It opens up ramp, but ZywOo is here to close the gates. Gets one. Could have finished the bomb off, which was Rush on 10 health. Blame has got a great position. He's wrapping yard, but talk of flanks, Vitality have pushed lobby. It's a ramp crunch from both sides. No one knows what's going on. ZywOo is about to figure out the hard way, but the smoke buys time as Blame can't get this kill. Ramp is Vitality. Still, this backstab could be huge.
Yeah, if anything, this timing might help Blame get away with even more from this flank, but ZywOo's going to deke him out of the round, and it's left onto Nevera in this 1v3, and sad for him, it might just have to be the save. Never really given a chance. If he gets this kill onto JKS, that might tempt him back in, but a lot of time has already ticked off this bomb, and he's just missed the timing onto JKS. So Complexity, they're going to get their first here and now. Helped out slightly by the fact that that is the bonus round for Vitality, right? They don't reinvest into rifles, they keep the Scout, they keep the FAMAS, the SMG. And now we have that investment still to come through. ZywOo is going to be donning the AWP here, so that outside area gets a lot more scary as a result. I do love how guys like RPK and Apex are so good with the FAMAS. I do sometimes wonder if that's because it is a French gun that they've really tried to like drive home the fact that, yeah, we're pretty nuts FAMAS players. No AWP in sight for Otten just yet over on the Complexity side, but ZywOo's going to be donning his shocks as well, likely going to be taking that ramp way.
ZywOo's taking the spawn peek.
Him and Shock's actually swapping, yeah. ZywOo had the spawn for ramp.
Otton's tucked. Default round for Cole, just holding off. Otton's going to walk in. Oh, great shot from Otton. Dropping ZywOo, getting that AWP out. He can pick it up if he wants. There's no more support in ramp. Apex is coming to rotate. Has utility. Otton grabbing that AWP. Getting it out of the hands of Vitality. And swinging. That's a lovely flick. He hits the shot. Hopefully in this series we can see more of what Otton has to show us. Against Astralis, of course it was going to be hard. And it's not easy against Vitality either. But, oh, was that a little bait jiggle? They're trying to keep Shocks double scoped in. They jump up. Just throwing the util in. They cut him off with the smoke. Shocks AWPing outside. Gonna have to give it up. Giving Cole a lot of room with a man advantage. Shocks playing spawn, watching for heaven. Otton holding onto the door, but not peeking. If he was Nevera, that would be almost a free kill. The flash is good, and RPK plays off the back of it, getting into the lobby, but everyone's holding. Cole is so prepared, so ready for this play. They go 1 for 1, and now in a 4-on-3 with Shocks seeing nothing yard. They're getting lurked on by Blame again. Config got an entry down B. No lower rotates today. Gambling top of Vitality, hoping for the best.
Yeah, just a hope and a prayer here for Vitality that this does come in towards A. They might get their wish, though, as it does look to go in towards this side of the map. However, Config and Blame, the little Danish duo, good for that double to lock in a second for Complexity. And already they're making this game interesting. The money's now broken for Team Vitality.
Yeah, I'm liking already what Blame's doing with some of these outside lurks. He's getting himself into a very deep position with the smokes, such as Garage. He's waiting till the smokes fade, and Vitality mentally clear that position out and go, yard's empty. They've either gone B or they've gone back to lobby, and then Blame's coming in on, you know, not only hell flanks, but coming in towards main later in the round. I like that. So something that Vitality now need to keep an eye on, be aware of at any point. There can be a player deep outside, and that is the case today. Crossing behind the smokes, Blame is down fast, but so are the French. 2 players with pistols rounding the corner. Ooh, I was going to say down they go. RPK gets the trade. Only good for 1. And B is opened up temporarily. I say that 2 ramp rotates here.
I like that. ZywOo drops down vent and then immediately goes back up, knowing that that's just going to, even for you know, half a second, slow down this Complexity approach into the B site. And that bought his teammates precious time to get across and then line up for Config. So there it is.
Yummy.
B now is right for the taking, and it's all on to ZywOo with just a deagle. He goes into the Moors, the JKS. Complexity take a third. Now, moving into this first rifle, I think something very, very important for Vitality is this aggression that we often see them go for into lobby, both from ramp and like hut pushes from the likes of RPK, might need to be stemmed a bit. Something that we've seen from Complexity when they play with these stand-ins is that they like to play a pretty slow T-side, aired around this idea of like just controlling the key areas of the map, and then based on what your opponents give you, trying to pick up the pace. That was how they were approaching it yesterday versus Astralis. They were doing the same kind of thing, and that was catching Astralis out early on as well. And it looks like they're doing it here versus Vitality. There's not a lot called out of spawn, right? It is just holding these defaults, seeing what Vitality feeds you, and then playing reactively off the back of it. I think that's the perfect way to approach playing CS with a standard.
Fast out ramp. Here's the flash. Shox is going to hear them coming, and he drops in anticipation of this play. Cole not running right down towards B, throwing a util to hell to stop a repeat. And they actually double back to lobby, but Shox has confirmed they can't be lower, and ZywOo is in CT. Although he's not watching hell, he's going to check it on a timing, make sure there's no heaven flank. So this double back to lobby, you know, it's fine, it's a good call, but it's not something that Vitality are going to be shocked about. This B fake, however, throwing nades down lower is config, keeping 2 CTs in the wrong bomb site. Nivera above the hut needs to do a lot, and it's a spray for one, but Otto with the trade. Config follows up with a B pick, and RPK is trapped at the back of the site. They've got the info. ZywOo needing to come in for support, but RPK flanked out, and ZywOo can't hit the shot to JKS. It's a massive entry to give Cole this site, and likely the round. Shox with no kit coming in from lobby needs to do something heroic. For ZywOo, that will do. Quick tag, and JKS ducks on out.
Yeah, a lot of this still hinging on Shox, right? Even though you got ZywOo, this big heavy hitter up in heaven, he's hoping he can draw attention away to give Shox some room to maneuver. There's ZywOo pouncing onto Otto. JKS still down in the site, but it's ZywOo just obliterating them. How on earth has he gotten away with it? From heaven, he had no business getting that double, but he does, and that gives Shox all the room in the world. Originally, ZywOo was kind of playing more of a living decoy role up in heaven, just getting the attention away. And then in typical ZywOo fashion, he somehow plucks a double out of that round. You never know how he does it, man.
No, considering the call was like wrong in a sense, right? He hits the tag onto JKS, he hears it, there's a blood splatter, and he keeps spamming. When Shox comes out hut, JKS is holding him from default. Shox runs past JKS to clear the back box, but JKS has already moved. And from that, Vitality know there are 2 players in the A site. And then Shox and ZywOo combined for 3 in the retake. God, this guy just shows up every time without fail. It's not even fair. 4-3, back in the lead are Vitality. Fast mollies in. Look at Shoxy, man, right down the vent. He avoids the spam and the molly. No way of stopping him. Holding for the drop to B. They now know no one's lower. But that can change in an instant if these outside smokes come in. And they're being lined up. It's wide ones as well. Are Cole going to try and put a player in garage again to come in on this backstab, or will it just be the commitment into main to split A? They might pop through this smoke. Apex needs to have his wits about him. Again, Vitality, they've been dropping 2B quite a lot, and Apex is falling out of heaven as well to check the yard. It doesn't matter. It's that A split, and Vitality have been caught in the wrong positions. It's only Apex here to deal with them. Puts up one. Nivera coming up the vent. Nice catch on the config. They're all over the site though. Apex is dead in upper, and JKS follows up. He has looked great on some of these entries. Flame picked up, but Shox traded. Leaves it on ZywOo.
In through the lobby, man. Draping on forward. ZywOo just tucked himself away. Now he's been set up by the rest of his team to attempt this clutch. There's a kit dropped right in front of him. So it was destined to be. Going back to check and see if anyone's pushed through the hut, and that is not the case. ZywOo now aware he might be given a temporary 1v1 here onto Otto, but Otto swinging the angle, taking the fight. It's always risky taking a peek into ZywOo like that, but Otto wanted his hands on the orb. And so he's going to get it, gets that upgrade, and taking it from the body of the master, no less.
He's rifled out ZywOo with an orb twice now, has Otto. Killing him on the ramp room, and then even hunting him in the 2-on-1. Lovely stuff. Needed someone to try and stop this man, and a free AWP gifted over. That's a lovely little top hit. Cole fake out the B play very well with the yard smokes, and Vitality scared over rotate. More smokes, more illusion. As only one man plays behind them, it's Blame. And he's playing that Blame game. Vitality are none the wiser.
We're seeing Complexity try and bully this A site a lot. And, you know, that is where Nevera's playing, right? So it does feel like maybe they watched that game yesterday and thought there was something they could exploit there. We know that Carl loved these demo reviews. Jesus, all right, Shocks. Said that the wrong way around, didn't I? It's Shoxy Jesus, that's what it's meant to be. Well, he's opened the round up with that Deagle.
Ooh, okay.
I was like, man, who dared to wallbang me? It's Rush on the other side, and now this pace picked up. As ZywOo trying to get a bit of revenge, finally dealt with by JKS. No one else inside of this A site for Vitality. As Apex is bursted out of the round, it is just the remaining pistols now, all left to retake in through Heaven, and that is not going to happen, and they know it. So they'll spread out and look for success elsewhere. There's that gun dropped outside, which looks like the object of their desires right now. Shox is like, hell, man, I dropped it earlier, I'll go get it. Still, Complexity going to be taking the lead. Very, very back and forth early on to begin this first half.
Yeah, it's a very strong start. T-side and Nuke as well. Their pick, a map that these guys are really, really comfortable on. Vitality shouldn't have too much of a problem. I mean, they just picked up a couple of tournament wins, and so it is common to see, you know, someone win a tournament and then go and immediately lose the opening match of the next tournament. Can't always ride off that high. But like for Vitality, if they get grouped here, that would be shocking, especially against the team with a stand-in. They only just lost to Big. But Cole, they've got him weak right now. Another buy for Vitality. AWP on ZywOo. Shox has the full util thanks to the save. They're not on in that head-to-head again. I can't wait to see him v ZywOo, but right now it's a Yard taken fast out A. Complexity setting up quick flashes. They just don't wait around, do they? They are so concise. JKS with a double entry again. He has been non-stop on this T side. Glad we highlighted him as a player to watch because he has been getting Cole into this game.
Yeah, it's worrisome, man. Complexity, as I said just rounds ago, right, they are just abusing this A site. And this hold of RPK Nevera, well, it was one that looked a little bit shaky in that matchup from the other day. And we saw Vitality take on Big. And it's certainly not looking any smoother right now. And that's the thing, right? When you're up against a team like Complexity, when you've got Blame F on the other side, he does his research, he crunches the numbers. And if he sees something that he thinks is exploitable, even if, you know, maybe with what Complexity like to do normally, it wouldn't be. He will put the effort in to refine it and make sure that they're exploiting it to the fullest extent. And it's just been countless top site hits right now for Cole. And it's left him in a really good spot. You know, we've already seen Vitality try and adjust to this a little bit, what with Apex occasionally playing Heaven to help out inside of that A-bomb site, but still hasn't bailed them out as much as you would like.
Yeah, and it's like the idea of conditioning. We sort of saw that in the Heroic Liquid game just a moment ago. Heroic constantly taking A and Liquid having to adjust as a result and therefore leaving other areas more empty. Cole, they get out A, but they're trying to get down the vent.
They're blocking each other in the
smoke. Yeah. JKS is now behind the vent. That's not where you want to be. Oh, sneaking down. They do it. But into the AWP they go. ZywOo ready. Oh, was a call made. He seems aware. Rush is also in position. ZywOo scoped up. Rush looking for an angle, an exit. A nice shot. can't follow up. Nivera comes down in the back line and keeps B under control. Shox needs to go back up. That's happened too many times. Vitality have over-rotated B. Shox realizes and he retreats from the ramp side, getting back into that position. Cole still looking interested in A. It's all that they've done. But not only 2 players here, plus Nivera in the vents. He's going to go ahead of the Molotov. On the ladder, he gets one. Almost Oton, who can't flick down surely, as Vitality finally hold the A site. And yeah, that one was a little bit more obvious, right? You lose your vent players, you trade 4-3, Cole walk out door, Apex is already heaven. That was a nice little round there for Vitality.
I love that chase from Nivera as well, right? Like, leaves ZywOo alone, just runs down through the vent, gets the trade, almost the double up through vent as well. So we are seeing the adaptations in for Vitality. You can have ZywOo in the right place at the right time. Shox getting aggressive through ramp. This time ZywOo trying to push his luck a little bit outside, and he does have Apex to help him out as well, getting up on top of the garage. ZywOo, oh, he's got a... Oh, he got the tag onto Rush, who was like in T-spawn, by the way. I don't even think that was the guy he was aiming for.
Take it.
ZywOo just feels destined to hit people, even if it isn't the intended target. And he hears these footsteps as well in towards ramp. Oh dear. Everywhere they go, ZywOo's there. They're like, he was just outside. He just hit me in T-spawn and now he's down on B. Well, you got to try and get past him, and Rush eventually will. Oton holding over towards ramp is getting pressured now by Apex. This B site, the one that Complexity are trying to end up on. The rotations are already in for Vitality, though. Blame holding the line. They don't get through that smoke. However, Apex will offer up a fighting chance in this round with the double. Missed shot from Otto, and now these two are getting very claustrophobic in the control room. RPK has been waiting for Shox to join him. There's the swing, and it falls to Otto, but he can't pierce the armor of this tank. 6 on the board for Vitality as they tie this up with the B retake.
Yeah, I mean, the space Vitality gives ZywOo there is excellent as well, right? Not just him going outside, out of spawn and trying to fight into T-spawn, but as you said, immediately dropping B, running up ramp. Shox concedes the ramp position to let them down into ZywOo. He only gets 1 there, but he at least buys time. Vitality already have heavy secret rotations. Apex comes in with a big couple of kills, and same story for RPK, who waits that smoke patiently after Nivera runs through and dies. Sacrifices himself for the info, and RPK makes good work with it. 6-all. Careful with those jumps outside. Next time you won't be so lucky. Config gets down to B. Blame coming through the smoke. Apex sees a shadow, and he knows. He takes that opener. Nivera's on the top of the hut. JKS could drop vent, but he's just going to hide behind it as Nivera swaps sides. Moving to the vent. Rush getting spammed. That's the bomb. JKS could try and capitalize here as he hears Nivera shoot, but that smoke is a bit of a problem. He can't go through it.
JKS should have the drop on him here. Yeah. He's not ready for a player tucked vent, and there it is, the blindsiding from JKS. Molly lands too deep as well. While that will kind of hamper the vent drop a little bit, it's not going to put a stop to these players in the door. Shoxy, though, again with this ramp flank, and this was the saving grace for Vitality a couple of rounds ago. Well, he drops the bomb there, and that's forced the rotation of Config back up through the vents. Complexity, it looked like they maybe wanted to go down B. Well, now they kind of hands are tied to get into this A site somehow, some way. Even if they don't commit, they've had to fight to regain control. And now they drop down the vent, but Vitality is seemingly 1 step ahead. ZywOo already rotating to ramp, misses the player crossing and doesn't land the shot to Config. It's him and Shox in the 2v2. And Shox once again flanking, once again with this big out position to try and make a play. We're looking at him in the double doors to be the difference maker, and there it is, him and ZywOo, a terrifying twosome to go up against, right? individually, they're two players you can never write off in clutches. So when they're up against you in an even odds 2v2, that is a really rough spot to be in.
Not even odds. It doesn't feel like it, at least. Yeah, and someone made the call that they dinked Config coming out of door as well. So ZywOo even whips out the USP for that 2-on-1 when he realized Config was last alive. That's a nice attempt for Cole, right? Getting back into A. Config has to come up vent to try and assist, and he opens up A, creating a path for the bomb to get down lower, but yeah, clutched on by Vitality. And ZywOo, 13-37 scoreline. He is quite the elite player. 7-6, and trying to run away with the last 2 rounds of the half. JKS right out the door, back to his usual tricks on A. He's going to go through to Nivera's betterment, sprays him as he comes through the smoke. The lineup for Config, turning around and killing everyone on A. ZywOo still to play against. Config on for the ace, but Shox trying to get a bit of a backstab in yet again.
Yeah, but he's done it so much, right? They were both ready for that. Otto was holding. And even though he was keeping an eye on the door, they still sent Blame back into the lobby just to double check it. ZywOo, re-molly. That's either going to force him to go or stay. And there's the push. Burning to his death. Down he goes. And this might just be the save for ZywOo. You know, even getting that little parting gift onto Config.
I thought he
round over and done with. I thought he was going to commit, yeah, right? I thought he was going to.
Fair enough. You know, they don't have the AWP otherwise.
The information he has, right, is that, you know, they know Config's site. They haven't even seen Blame F yet. And last they saw, Otto was door. So if he goes running in through that molly, could have died to a door player, could have even been a second player site, right? So holding on to the AWP, that's kind of the extent of it.
In Config, though, we've had him and JKS show up, lights out today for Cole, right? Looking really, really good. Otto with some key moments as well, and some well-cooled rounds to get Cole on the board here. 7 rounds, and looking for an 8th. There's only the AWP and a couple of rifles board up, dropped over for Vitality to muster. It could be Cole winning the half. Very possible. That doesn't mean anything with Vitality moving to the T side. Let's see if they can do it. Early smokes outside. Apex crossed on the door. Got to be careful for those vent drops. He has a gap, though. He's going to take it instead and fall in. Nivera fights into the lobby, traded after 1. And the patient play for Cole nets them a massive advantage. Config again dinked. ZywOo knows he's got the USP out. Maybe he hit the leg shot. But no kills offered up, and Cole pulled the brakes yet again. 4-on-2. Wait for Vitality to make a move.
Yeah, I think even just looking at the positioning, right, shows how the error in this round is that lobby aggression. Hang on a minute, though, because ZywOo's just made it all very, very interesting with that kill onto the bomb back in lobby. Blame is wrapping through heaven, and they have given up outside, so you think someone might be watching this, and Shox turns just in time. This was a 2-on-4, and we talk about just in time. Well, now we need Justin Savage and Config to muscle their way through this one. It is going to come down to JKS versus Shoxy. JKS retrieves that bomb from lobby and now goes rampward. Shox not expecting this, not anticipating the ramp flank. Still set up over towards heaven, and that gives JKS a good opportunity now to get this bomb down over towards B, and he'll have plenty of time to get into a post plant as well. He's already eyeing up the window.
Shox, yeah, he's got to make noise here to drop. There's a kit on A, that was the call, and he's going to go through the vents. JKS, where could he be? Anyway, breaks the window, but he shoots from ramp. Will that be info that Shox has? He looks very attuned to the ramp position. It is an open plant for the left side. Tapping the bomb. JKS checks it. Shox moves in. He never saw JKS, but JKS... Oh, dear, he hits it. JKS knew there was no one on the bomb. He checked it. He moves out, and Shox shuts him down in the 1v2. It's going to be Vitality leading at halftime. Close game, though. Cole here to play, here to fight for their life. Join us after the break for the rest of Nuke.
Just a little mean, I know, well, apologies. But my New Year resolutions and my honesty. Trust me, it ain't nobody, nobody lives. Nobody, nobody lives. It ain't none of my business. It ain't none of your business. Nobody, nobody lives. Nobody, nobody lives. It ain't none of my business. It ain't none of your business. Okay, stuck on the same excuses. I think it's getting old. I ain't your therapist, I ain't your measure. Hey, oh, can't really tell you anything you don't already know. No one said it was easy. Don't even bother, cause I'm in insecure location. I turned off my phone and my patience. I wanna help you, but you ain't even trying. You made your own bed, now you gotta fucking lie. Ain't nobody, nobody lives. Ain't nobody, nobody lives. Ain't none of my business. It ain't none of my business. Nobody, nobody lives. Nobody, nobody lives. It ain't none of my business. It ain't none of your business. Nobody, nobody lives. Ain't nobody.
Complexity with a pretty damn good T side with a stand-in as well. Lots of caveats, but they're showing up in the server today. Vitality just edging out a victory in the half to begin Nuke. It is the pick of Cole in this series. Dust 2 at Overpass to follow, potentially, at least the first. But first, the second half. Lots of numbers, 8-7, Vitality leading in those GG bet odds, and now they go to the T side of Nuke. Lots of utility for a pistol as well. Rush with the kit nade. And a lot of A hits for Cole. Vitality look interested in the same, lining up some sort of heaven smoke by the looks of things. Fast flash, 4 shocks, in they go. ZywOo leading the charge, but they can't find the player at the back of the site. Otto holding on pretty well. Only gets one though. It's going to be Convict inside of the lobby, behind enemy lines, but not for long as he runs dry of ammo. Blame and JKS, the latter of which has been excellent in this game. Can he show up in what will soon to be a retake, but the bomb's been dropped. Loose by Blame as the smoke fades. Double peek. There's the trade for JKS, and the package is at his feet. He gets out, fires a shot. Shox now knows it's the 1v1 that closed the half, now opens it up. Shox meandering, moving around the site. JKS gives it up. Is he going to wrap round main or even go through ramp to lobby? It's quite the rotation. Shox holding on for a repeat that will never happen, and he has read this well. He is moving towards the ramp by the looks of things. This could be an open path to the B-bomb site. JKS is going to be scrambling, wondering where the hell has Shox gone. The kit's even at the back of A as well, so he might have to just go and grab that. That will seriously slow down his rotate to B. Shox takes it silently. 20 seconds, more than enough time to plant. Danger is obviously that JKS has gambled and pre-rotated down, but that is not the reality we're in. Will JKS speed for the kit or go for the B site as soon as he can? Realization sets in. No, it doesn't. JKS still thinks it's A. Now he's found the kit. Now he knows. But he's walking it. Yeah, he doesn't have time for this. He's got to run.
This is deja vu, man, isn't it?
Close the half.
And not to mention, right, if going for the kit takes you longer than 5 seconds, it was never worth it to begin with. And so now JKS on this drop, making a lot of noise. He doesn't have the time to be quiet. Shox, is he going to beat him again? Is it going to be back-to-back victories? JKS trying to flick, but it's Shox 2-0 in clutches versus JKS now. He's done it to him again. Vitality on to 9, and Shox showing that he can clutch either side of the coin as he puts that pistol on the board for Team Vitality.
Heads and tails. Head Shocks wins. Tails JKS loses. Here's the force for Cole. We got a scout out and pistol armor. Good bit of utility. What are you going to do with these smokes, though? They're going to nade stack outside. They go a bit deep. Apex already up and past it. Config playing in the smoke. Ooh. Ooh.
Ooh,
Knife out.
There's
Whoa.
the kill to RPK, but there's a lot more where that came from, buddy.
That's a good kill,
Dip
though.
dive out of there. Yeah, they don't stick around a challenge, and Rush is already down through the vent. No one's considering this now. They are keeping an eye on it, but there he is, blindsiding Apex, caught looking the wrong way. That actually now opens up this vent rotation, so there's a lot more bodies in the vent where that came from. Down goes ZywOo, and it's left to Shocks. This time, it's a big clutch again required, but no longer is it the 1v1s. It's a 1v4, turned 1-on-3 for Shocks to try and pull off. Surely not. Oh, Shocksy, you're not meant to win these. He's not meant to win these. Blame F, the last man left standing. Shocks on for the ace. There is no way he's landed the dink. This cannot happen. This cannot happen for Shocks. He's out of there with the bomb. Up towards the vent, trying to fake Blame F out, but those shots have given it away.
Oh,
Shocks might have it. Shocks has got it. 10 on the board for Vitality, and this guy is the clutch king. My, oh my.
Cool as a cucumber.
You wouldn't even know he's just done it. You wouldn't even know it's just happened.
Oh, that's going to be in the nightmares of Cole tonight. What a play. The transfer, the spray, the dink onto Blame. Like, every part of that was masterfully played, rather. What an outplay on the vent as well. Fakes the...
That was an ace. That was a 1v4. I can't get over it, Hugo.
Yeah.
I can't.
It felt so good. Rush did everything he could have, man. Getting all those deagle kills in the vent. Config had a gun. This is Vitality rolling over Complexity right now in this second half. Clutch after clutch. Shocks just having fun with it, just tapping outside. He gets removed by the USP, so a bit of brutal reality sets in. Navera has a Nova. Okay, he's going to use the Deeg instead. Soak it in, Harry.
I need a minute. I need a minute, Shocks, man. You crazy, bro. I can't do it. I need a minute.
Ooh. Well, right back we go.
Yeah. Let's get back into it. Rush to get us there, maybe. Navera. Well, Deeg out. Otto. Rush is out as well. JKS, it's all eyes on him, and now he wants to go.
Okay.
With the Shock shoes on, here he is with the peak, but Navera Deegs him back. It's 11 on the board for Vitality.
This game is bonkers.
This is nuts, isn't it? Oh, I love it.
Otto on the AWP now. Money's a bit skew-if for Vitality, right? Those anti-ecos, both of which get very close. So not really rolling in dough right now. Might want to run SMGs. I'm going to guess the Nova was a misbuy, considering he swapped it out for the Mac 10 as soon as he could. And didn't even play it. Against the Eco, Nova feels pretty good, but we know how inconsistent shotguns can get.
I want Vitality to play 4v5 and then just let Shocks wait and then just have these moments every game. I mean, to be fair, like he's doing that just fine anyway. Oh, some things aren't meant to be seen by the eyes of the immortals like you and I, Hugo, and that was one of them. Oh, Blame F, the lineup in the door. It's almost dirty, but RPK is swift with his response. Cancels that out almost immediately.
Yeah, saves Apex's life, and that's important because now they're going to line up smokes outside. Well, where will they be going for? Ooh, this, that, the other. Those, them. Pick a smoke, Apex. There we go. No garage smoke, so they're going to play inside of it by the looks of things, moving close behind them. Otto flashes out, but no one's there to capitalize off the utility. Config, is he walking the door smoke? Yeah, he's trying to take lobby right back. It can be big info for Cole, but it won't really save them from what is coming, the impending doom of this wrap. The run boost over. Otto doesn't know, and Shox has got the shot. Great stuff. Otto was so, you know, drawn to Secret, and he never even saw them in garage. They didn't even need to run boost because he wasn't looking. Apex does find Config in the meantime. 2-on-4. Cole screwed in this round. Rush needs to make a play. He's the only man in a position to do so. JKS is cordoned out. Rush catching Apex, moving back in, but he's lost the A site.
Yeah, they know Rush is here. The only one with a bit of an element of surprise could be JKS. Now giving up his position and wrapping into ZywOo, that is certain death on the cards. Rush, his turn to clutch, his turn to give it a go. RPK, however, just says, nah, mate, you're done. You're cancelled. 12 on the board for Vitality. And once again, the money is just gone for Complexity. Oh, it went from looking like they were going to be able to do something here on this map, right, with like a pretty convincing first half. So now the domination getting picked up by Vitality. They're not letting off the gas. They have been winning everything, man.
It's a bit of a shame for Otto as well, right? Like, he's holding Secret. He thinks they're going, you know, you got to know what the plans are with certain smokes. And with those smokes, it was just to get Vitality into garage. As I said, run boost, not even necessary. They could have just dry peeked him and he wouldn't have even been looking. Very quick, though. (12-7). 4 in a row for Vitality in this second half alone. And Cole back to pistols. These have looked good. Shox has looked better. 20-7 to his name. Vitality looking towards ramp. There's a heavy setup here. 3 CTs boosting. Nivera's running through. He might get this info ahead of time. He sees the boost. He only gets one, but that set his team up for success. The third man coming up from B. Otto also finds a frag, but it's only pistols. Config set up in lower early with Blame, but back to A they go. Apex is contacted out into the A site, and there's no one here to stop him. He makes the call, and that gamble B doesn't even matter.
And we might be nearing that point where Cole, they've got like, what, like 1 or 2 rifles left in the tank, and that's really the extent of it if they don't start winning soon.
Filth.
Config, that's a nice dig, but shouldn't transpire to much more beyond that, surely, unless he does want to just try and throw caution to the wind and give this one a go. But with time already so far ticked, like, he would need these 2 kills in an instant, and so with Shox and RPK split up the way they are, it's undoable for Config. Not that I think he was ever going into this with the intent to win it. Gets out of it with the AK at the very, very least, but that's really the extent of it for Cole. That's kind of the happiness of this round. Hey, we got an AK. However, they are down 7-13.
Yeah, running out of chances. Will there be an answer? Maybe even just attack, a moment to breathe for Complexity. They've been suffocated. I like the ramp setup. It was the right call. They read it. Still doesn't trade favorably. And even though they get a 2 for 3, Apex just walks out A. So B-Stack is neglected, negated. Otto back in with the AWP. Sat on ramp, alone. Early rotate down lower for JKS. He drops Secret and checks the vent. Nothing there, so he comes up and helps outside. Now, he can be flashed outside by someone like Config. But look how slow Vitality are in this gun round. They're just waiting. They're just trying to figure out where Cole stacked. They're looking at Secret from Silo. JKS can't make a play just yet. If he does, he'll be punished by Apex. Vitality, there are 3 players essentially playing Yard against them. They haven't seen a single one. This is great tucking for Cole. Very patient play. It might pay off in the long term as Vitality think Yard is a lot clearer than it actually is. Nice flash.
Yeah, good stuff to get some usage out of JKS early on in this Secret position. Nade does even more. to make that worthwhile. And they still don't know about Blame F in back garage. So he's like the little nasty surprise in the center of this whole outside hold. Config gets beheaded, and ZywOo looks very, very aware that this is going to be the case. Oh, never mind. He checks everything apart from the one place he had to check. And ultimately, that's the one that matters most. The rest of the gang are going to try and blitz their way into A. To do that, they've got to get past Rush, and they will deal with him, but a lot of damage done. They've really slowed down this A play. Bomb trying to get planted by RPK. And they do respect it. They do let him get the bomb down. He should be dead to the heaven wrap, but right now, Otto's waiting on the ladder, trying to pay his respects as Nevera's gone in the lobby, and there it is, the late heaven wrap, not read by RPK. Complexity, they move on to an 8, they recover there, they put that round up on the board. Great usage out of JKS early on, right? Set up by his teammates to take that early engagement, to whittle down the outside play. And then he follows through on the retake as well. So closing this gap, 5 between them now. Still a little ways to go.
First CT round as well. Better late than never. ZywOo can't AWP, he's got a rifle for this one, but he obliterated Config in heaven last round. If he checked Blame, could have been a very different situation for Vitality. Instead, back to the smokes. Straight out of spawn, there's a Molotov down, but it's on the roof. Oh, that's going to disrupt the smokes of Vitality. Love that from Complexity. This is a team, Blame and Keita especially, they know what kind of teams and which players throw smokes out of spawn, and therefore they know whether to molly or not. It works in both ways as well. They know which teams throw Molotovs to disrupt the smokes, and as a result, you'll sometimes see Cole throw late smokes to avoid that exact play. Despite the smokes getting cancelled out, Vitality still get down lower. They've got 2 players in B right now. Same story for Cole. Baited in with the door open. Nice shot for RPK. The AWP just gets slapped in the face. JKS anchoring B right now. Blame can come in on a wrap, and he has. Killing Shocks from Decon. 4 on 3. Still committed to this lower side, but with no split. It's just down to the ramp men. Nice nade.
Yeah, nade from Nevera is perfect, right? That's allowed for a B plant to come in. The only man who can have any say in that matter is Blame F, waiting at Decon. Config's also given a bit of a berth to get down through the vent, and while this is happening, Rush has set up a ramp, so you got this nice little 3-pronged approach. However, one of them's gone already. Blame F deleted over in the Decon door, and Rush caught out in the open. Still good for that kill to Nevera, but that's where RPK comes in with the right hook. Vitality onto 14. Still money for an investment for Cole, but the scary thing about this investment now is if they lose it, well, then they're force buying up against 15. Not where you want to find yourself by any stretch of the imagination. Plus, I got to say this as well, right? I don't want to keep running the clutches from Shocks into the ground, but he's had 3 of them in this game, and they were in back-to-back-to-back rounds, which is the most mind-blowing part. Like that is a stat that only he could have, you know,
3
like
in a row.
1 to round out the half, 1 to open the half, 1 to save the anti-eco.
1v2, 1v1, 1v4.
Yeah,
Of course.
unreal.
Bit of a gamer, this guy.
Not that you would know, just looks like another day in the office to him. He's chewing his gum, he's like not even cracking a smile. But then when they win, he's the most animated guy ever. But the moment the game's live, right, you just get like this cool, calm, everything's fine. Game ends, he's like, yes! It's unreal, the difference between the 2 of them.
Love it, dude. The
I
passion.
can't yell for real though, my mom and dad are asleep upstairs.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. Don't want to wake them up.
Shocks creeping outside. He's got the rest of the team behind him. Will they check close left for Blame? They will, and Shocks there just pierces through and takes the head right off of the beast outside. Otto trying to go above this smoke, and he is good for the trade at least. Any more in the tank for Otto. There's the double. Back in the advantage of Cole, and that outside play now is bid farewell thanks to this AWP. Locking down outside,
Nice.
just keeps on putting up numbers, and that's exactly what we needed. We needed someone to step up, and hell, man, if it's the standing, Complexity will take that.
Yeah, Otto's had a really good game in comparison to yesterday. He's had a lot of key rounds, and this is one of them. 3 in the bag. And Cole just need 2 more to push it over the line. RPK running, and then Rush looks down at the right time. Otto obliterated against Zaiwu, who will drop down B, but only faking it. He doesn't even make the noise, really. He just fakes the he just climbs up the ladder. So now he has A. Do they think he's lower? They can't see him. They can't figure it out. He's right below Otto, or rather the AWP in Config's hands instead, who will just peek. It's Config for crying out loud. He doesn't wait. And even if he did, there was Rush coming in through the hut as well. It's another Cole round. 1 of 2 in the CT side. This was great, this shot. Ooh. After Otto's sick round, he just gets 2 tapped. And Pistols have a Vitality. Cole, they've stemmed the bleeding. They've forced a low economy round, and maybe they can make this game interesting yet.
BlameF has been able to get across into Secret. Oh!
What?
I was about to say, like, with how that smoke is, that should favor him as well, but it doesn't matter, apparently. Apex just 2 taps him out of the round. And it's also like, yeah, you guys ain't getting the AK. I had to grind for this. And he's on that grind. He's taking it outside. Otto looking to deal with him. And he will emerge up over the rafters, but there's the drop down from Upper. Yeah, you take out our leader, but we're here to get that revenge. 3 on 3, the AK now in the hands of Navera, AWP in the hands of Shoxy.
Uh-oh.
Config and JKS both clearing outside. So at this point, they know that it is either up through heaven, or more likely out of these 2 options is the ramp play. And Rush and JKS are both already adjusting to deal with that. However, Vitality have pumped the brakes. They've slowed it right down, and they wait for the re-aggression. That is such a good read to mop up Config close on that flank in through behind. Now they sit with the advantage. This has gone from like a round that Vitality should have never picked up to one that they are in such a commanding lead in, right? 3v2, Rush is almost dead as it is. So instead, we're looking at JKS, the man who was to be the hero here. He's wielding the famous French weapon against the Frenchman. Is it going to betray him? Is it going to betray them? It's RPK locking it in, and with that, the round is done, right? That's 15 for Vitality.
Yeah, Rush to get out of here. He should try and save. No kit, 8 health. Nowhere near the bomb plant. It's Vitality. They get it done with pistols, Harry. Apex tapping Blame outside. Who, I mean, like, you can't really fault Blame for that death. He's had a rough game, sure, but that is unreal for Apex. May die to the AWP straight after, but they drop in on the AWP, picking it up, and more guns at that. Very calm mid-rounding from Vitality, right? They're so fine at just stopping and walking together, making no noise, giving no inclination as to where they're going for Complexity to rotate or to gamble. They've just got to guess. And so Rush upper, JKS lower. If either of them get 2 kills, it's a winnable round. If not, it's probably just a straight-up save. Look at this shot. How on earth? Honestly, from watching a lot of people play that position, I feel like more often than not, the T crossing red smokes wins that fight to a close Secret player. Like, I feel like more often than not that is the case. That being said, pistol versus AK should not have been that easy. 15-9. Or for Zaiwu, SMG on Shox. He could have bought full, but he's going fast instead.
Yeah, he wants to get in there, right? He wants to get stuck in, and maybe to his detriment, he's at least been that spearhead on the offensive to get the rest of Vitality in there, get them moving, get the people going. As now just Otto and JKS have to try and keep this game alive in a 2v4. Nade into the site, doesn't quite deal with RPK. And to make matters worse, Zaiwu is just Molotov JKS out of heaven. That's slowed down a round in which Complexity don't really have time in anyway. And JKS with no kit in an impossible clutch. It's all said and done. Vitality, they lock in the victory.